breaking from Hollis Hall, cool air, honest meetings, and a depth chart that finally tilts our way. Here's what I'm putting on the table for you tonight: the real pulse of the locker room, the medical map that matters for Monday night, the schematic levers the staff is rehearsing on the whiteboard, and the roster choices that can turn a regular October game into a statement. I'll take you through offense, defense, and personnel with clarity. And I'll save the central reveal for the right moment, because timing is part of the plan. The tone inside, the building is disciplined, not dramatic. We're treating last week's issues like a checklist, not a crisis. On offense, the mantra is simple: stay on schedule. That means cleaner first downs, stress-free second and medium, and fewer hero ball snaps where the quarterback has to invent something against a loaded front. The staff is tightening up the opening script. More motion at the snap to force coverage declarations. More quick game answers that make the pass rush think twice. And a steadier commitment to the run when the picture is right. Not just when the crowd wants it. Protection is the hinge. When the right side holds up, the playbook breathes deep crossers open. Choice routes from the slot get to full speed. And ROC can live in the concepts he trusts instead of emergency calls. When the edge frays, everything shrinks. You'll see a heavy dose of half-slide protections and deliberate chips from the tight end to control the arc. You'll also see our backs coach the scan inside out and finish with violence, because nothing stalls a drive like a free runner in the B-gap. Defensively, the goal is to win the first collision and steal the opponent's script. The staff has emphasized game on stunts. Up-front twists that hit at the quarterback's set point, instead of announcing themselves at the snap, and late pressure from the second, level that doesn't compromise the back end's integrity. Post-snap disguise matters on Monday night. If we hold our shell and rotate late, a young QB's internal clock gets fuzzy, and throws arrive a beat after the window closes, personnel-wise. This week has felt different because returns are finally real. Practice reps were meaningful, not ceremonial. You could feel the secondary's communication tighten calls were crisper, leverage was smarter, and the energy fit the moment. On the edge, the window is open for a young pass rusher whose motor and upfield speed bring a different flavor to our third down packages. Is he a savior? No. Is he the exact kind of spark you deploy for 8 to 10 snaps that matter? Absolutely. On the injury ledger, the day that matters is the last full-speed practice. That's when you learn if a limited is trending toward playable or just dressing room optimism. In the secondary, both the slot and the post looked organized, clean turns. Confident breaks, controlled accelerations that tell you soft tissue is tracking the right way. On the line, the right tackle's strike and anchor improved through the week. You could see the punch extend, the feet settle, and the recovery step arrive with intent. That changes everything, from how we call outside zone to how we sell play action. Let's talk matchups. Washington is physical and comfortable playing downhill. They'll lean on design QB movement and option looks to stretch your rules, then hit play action shots once you start cheating. You beat that by closing the edges to the mesh, forcing the ball back inside where your help lives, and tackling without drama. Expect us to use green dog rules if you're man blocks. You add to the rush and a spy that's more about leverage than a sprint. The first defender who arrives must arrive square. Missed tackles against a mogul QB turn 3-yard plays into chaos. Offensively, the staff has built 2 scripts and will carry both to kickoff. Script A, right side intact. More gap runs to the strong side. Pullers climbing to the second level to tee off on linebackers. And quick play action off the same backfield action to punish safeties who stick their nose in the fit. Script B, if the right side needs help, more 12 personnel, chips baked into protections, and rhythm throws that move the pocket a half step to buy sight lines and keep the chains moving. You can win with either, but only one lets you play bully ball without sacrificing your vertical threats. Special teams is quietly part of this story too. A true core team back being available lets you stabilize coverage units, steal hidden yards, and set your defense up with short fields. It's not glamorous, but in a primetime game where momentum swings with field position. Your third phase is the difference between asking your quarterback to drive 75 yards and asking him to drive 5-5 got now, the moment you've been waiting for what? All of this points to when we strip the noise and keep the facts. My read, based on how this week evolved, is that the trio that redefines our identity is trending the right way. Darnell Wright is on track to suit up with managed workload and smart protection help. Kyler Gordon is lined up for a controlled snap count in the slot. And Jaquan Brisker is set for a full volume role on the back end. That's the spine of how we want to play. With Wright in, we can punch to the strong side and set a sturdier pocket. With Gordon back, we can play more matchup coverage without giving away blitzes. With Brisker right, we can close space downhill and still rotate late without communication hiccups. What does that practically change on Monday night? It makes our early down menu honest more duo encounter with real teeth, more RPOs that pull hook defenders a half step, more play action that hits the intermediate windows instead of settling for checkdowns. It also allows the defense to be choosy, disguise too high pre-snap, spin to one high late, and bring pressure selectively to generate long yardage downs. Young quarterbacks don't like pictures that move. Veteran play callers love having the option to move them. Let's be blunt about risks, because that's how we've built this channel. If Wright's elbow flares or fatigue shows up early, the staff must pivot seamlessly, take help on the edge, more quick game, and a steady run diet that favors inside lanes over extended developing perimeter plays. With Gordon, discipline matters snap count is a number, not a suggestion. And with Brisker, angles beat heroism. Trust your landmark, squeeze the alley, and finish through the thighs. This is how you win the game, and wake up on Tuesday healthier than you were last Wednesday. Trends to watch that tell you the plan is working. On offense, 2nd and 6 or better after the first snap of a drive. On defense, 2 or more 3rd and 7+ in each half. On special teams, starting field position a first down better than the opponent. If we hit those marks, Washington is playing our game. If we miss them, it's a coin flip. And coin flips on the road in primetime are not a strategy. Want your blueprint on the table before we lock in the preview show with Wright managed and active. Do you pound strong side gap early to test their edges or open with quick game tempo to gas the rush and set up play action later? Do you deploy the young edge rusher in the second quarter to change the pace or hold him for a third quarter turbo package when their tackles are breathing hard? And on defense, are you calling more simulated pressure creepers to preserve coverage numbers? Or do you force the issue with nickel blitzes and live with one-on-one outside? Drop it below. I pin the smartest plans and carry them into the next breakdown. Here's my concise read, clean and professional. With Wright trending active, Gordon back on a pitch count, and Brisker ready to roll, the Bears regain control of their own script. Efficient first downs. A quarterback protected by structure instead of miracles. And a defense that dictates rather than reacts. It won't guarantee a blowout, but it raises your floor and raises your voice in the huddle. That's how you win Mondays and build toward December. If you value fast updates with deep, no-nonsense analysis delivered like we're sitting in the same row at Soldier Field. Subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, hit the bell, and share this with the fan in your group chat who lives for OL mechanics and third down disguise. I'll be here the second news turns into football.